This video is about TikTok books and if I liked them, didn't like them, and like why, if they deserve the hype or not. And it's gonna be brutal. Sorry.
It's not actually brutal.
Definitely all of these books, not all of them I loved.
That's questionable.
I am a person that typically picks up a book and doesn't hate the book. I never hate a book, but I get bored sometimes and I stop reading or I go back to it. It's just a bit of a whirlwind situation. Okay, let me just put all of these books down. Okay, so the first book, I don't know if I just wanted this as an author generally, but this is like the most famous one out of all her books, in my opinion. Well, I think it's everyone's opinion, but it is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I mean, can you even love this book? I mean, you probably can, but yes, definitely going into this book, because it was so early on in me reading TikTok books, that I definitely thought this was a romance novel. It sort of is, but, and it probably is at the start with her younger self and everything, but then kind of isn't, because it shows both dark and a good side to it. I wasn't expecting what was going to happen. Obviously, I don't think anyone was really expecting it, besides if you saw spoilers beforehand. But I think some things in here also didn't go in deep enough to discuss it a bit more, because I think issues in this book needed to be discussed further, because there were some really dark themes in this book, and I was quite young when I first read it, so I was quite shocked, quite taken aback by it. And I think that I know a lot of younger readers and people that watch TikTok read this book because they think it's, you know, the most famous book on TikTok or whatever. I don't know the reason why, but and I definitely think that there needs to be some sort of warning about that, because that would have been great. Okay, the next book is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I actually love her books. I did really love this book. I didn't love the names though. Is that funny? When I'm reading a book, I have to love the names to love the book. They were too harsh. They needed to be a bit more softer. But then he's not a soft guy, so I'd be like,
I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that.
Anyways, as you can see, I've annotated most of these books. If you want a video on that, I can totally do that. And like my editing style and like what I annotate, what the colours mean, if they differ from each book, which as you can tell, they definitely do. It just depends what tabs I have on hand, actually. I went on and read the second book. Yeah, I did annotate this book as well. Hook, Line and Sinker. I love this one as well. They're both very good. I love their names in this one a bit more than this one. Yeah, I thought that they were both very good, and I would read more of her books if I had the money. Yay. Okay, next one. Oh, I love this book. Loved it so much. I cried and I loved it so much. I cried because I finished the book. That's how much I loved the book. It's not good. But anyway, it's called From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. Really sorry if I butchered that. I butcher all of these authors, I think. Sorry. I love this one. Oh my gosh. I love a good ice hockey. I love figure skating romances. I love anything that's like sport related. I'm not even sporty in real life. It's just, I don't know. This one was, I didn't annotate this one because I was like so immersed in the book that I was like, just like forget about annotating. I just had to read it. Oh my gosh, this was a good book. it was a rocky start for me. I was like, I'm going to come a reading slump. I don't want to read it. But I've always wanted to read it. So I was like, no, Emily, stick with it. Do not just die on the book. Okay, just read it, please. And so I did. And we'll never be the same again. I will continue to find more of her books and love them all. But I also love the side of BookTok, which is fantasy and fantasy romance, dark romance, all of that stuff. They have a little bit of extra spice in them, but also some other plot to it, which I really enjoy. So my favorite series of all time, after going on TikTok and reading on TikTok and finding this series and eventually starting to read it, is the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. And that is very basic. I know. Don't even get me started, okay? I don't want to know. But it's by Sarah J Maas. Also, I'm going to butcher that. I'm sorry. But, oh my gosh. I have no words. I have no words. This book was everything I hoped for and everything else. It was literally incredible. I loved the series, especially the second one. That one. Court of Mist and Fury. It was my favourite. Oh, that's actually a lie. My favourite would be the last one, A Court of Silver Flames. That one absolutely slapped. It was so good. It was so good. And I read that so fast too. But I've got a fear of big books though. That when I pick one up, I'm just like, no, can't deal with that today. But I picked that one up, I was like, no, Emily, you will read this book. Because you read the whole series, you got to finish the series. Little did I know that would be my favourite. So step out of your comfort zone, people. Step out of your comfort zone. So, yeah, do I have anything bad to say about this? Well, obviously I have Amarantha to say about this, but who does not? Who doesn't, guys? Okay, so anyway, back to the book, what I'm talking about. I get sidetracked quite easily. It was beautiful. Oh, and Tamlin, I loved you in this book, and it just got worse and worse every other book, so. But about the series, I will say that A Court of Frost and Starlight would be my least favourite. Why? It's so small too, and I was like really disappointed in that, but that's alright. And also, it was just a highlight reel of what I can remember. I read them a little while ago, so yeah, was it necessary? Probably. I mean, I still want the book in the series because it's not a book I can read, but yeah. Not my favourite, but, you know, so yeah. Yay! Ooh, falling. Okay, next series is the Shadow Me series. Oh my gosh. Okay, Shadow Me series by, ooh. We're not going to say that. I can't say that. I'm really sorry. I'll put it up on the screen. I don't want to butcher it. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Okay. So this series, I probably love this series a bit more, but I do love a good dystopian. Loved it. The first one I read so fast because I love a good dystopian. Okay, I grew up with Hunger Games. You know, I love it so much, and especially this book. This book was so good. Again, I tabbed it. Oh, there we go. I tabbed it. I can show you what they all mean at a later date if you want that. Yeah, you can see those. To reread it, that's why I need to. That's my con. I need to reread it. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Oh, what was his name? Adam. I don't like you. You're like Dane from The Fourth Wing. I don't like you. It's like Tamlin also. We don't want the hero, we want the villain, guys. Let's all face it. That's my dog in the background, so I'm really sorry you can hear that. The next book is This Woven Kingdom, but the same author. As you can tell, I love her as well. She's great. I love this book. However, it was quite a slow burn, but I read it quite fast. I just wanted to get some of the good stuff, yeah. And I will read the pink one there because it's a pretty cover.
ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Look how pretty it is. Let me just take a moment to like the cover. Well, I can't really say anything bad about it. Oh no, I did say something bad about it. It was quite a slow burn, and it left me on a huge cliffhanger. I was like, where's the rest of it? Where's the other chapter? Where is it gone? Did I rip it out in my anger? No, but I'm hoping Miss Girl answers some questions. Please, okay? Hey. This series I thrived reading. It was so good. And I loved a hardback too, for a change. I read Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves a while back. I loved this book. I thrived in this book, also annotated it. I loved it. Like full circle moments. And that book was great, but I did love this book a bit more. What's my bad thing about this book? Oh, that I cried too much. Was my bad thing. I cried so much. It was horrible. I even cried more in my life. So I was rooting for them this entire time. It was kept me on my toes. Loved it. Have nothing bad to say about this book. Super good. If you are wanting to read any of these fantasy novels, I would say to like to start off with like easier ones to start off with, because I did read like Neon Gods. I will not recommend that for anyone under 18. That was, wow, that was a lot. Wait, I can show you the red tabs of this book. I don't know if you can see all of them. No, you can't. I want to count them, but it'll take me a hot minute. Okay, wait 1 second. I want to count them. $15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and then 36, 37. This book is only late 300s. 377. So, whereas it's like a lot more in like A Court of Thorns and Flames. What the hell? A Court of Silver Flames, because obviously it's like 700 pages or whatever it is. It's huge. But yes, however many I just said, I forgot already, so yay, yeah. That one was really good, but that one's about, like, you know, obviously gods, is in the cover, like Persephone and Hades. So if you're not into, like, fantasies, then I probably wouldn't read this. And if you're under 18, also wouldn't read this. So, yeah. Whereas I think this one's, like, it's dystopian / fantasy, because it's, like, in a fantasy world, but kind of dystopian, because I don't remember any powers. No, there was powers. But, like, she did have, like, a power, I guess. They all had some powers, so I guess, I hate the word powers, like, what do you call them? Gifts? I don't know. Wouldn't start with that. That's real fantasy, real hardcore fantasy, like fairies, all that stuff will murder you type thing. That's not fantasy. What would I start with? Dystopian, I would start with, which would be Shadow Enemy series a little bit, which I would, because it's like a dystopian kind of world. It's like, you know, it's all ended basically. Oh, The Cruel Prince is also quite fantasy as well. So what would I start with if I was entering fantasy? Oh, the Violent Delight series I did love, which is sort of fantasy. So maybe I'd start with that, because it's sort of like still kind of historically accurate a little bit, because it's like set in a time where it's actually realistic, whereas like, you know, this isn't realistic, obviously. You could kind of say that that's realistic, so at least I'd start with that probably, and then work your way into things like this and the Cruel Prince series, Thorns of Glass. Okay, Emily needs another coffee. Actually, No, I don't. Yes, I think that's it though. I think my pros for a lot of these books is the plot and the story and the romance. I'm not reading a book without romance. You cannot catch me doing that. What? No, thank you. And I love fantasy. Fantasy romances are my favorite. Mafia romance, great. I read a lot on my Kindle, so a lot of those are my Kindle because we don't really sell those in bookstores here. Well, if you do in New Zealand, can you please tell me, because I need them. That is my video for today. I think I've made 2 videos this week, so please go watch the other one and go follow me on TikTok. It's the same handle. I do have an Instagram account, but I'll decide later because it's my personal one, so I might make another one. But on my TikTok, I've got that linked on there as well. So just go over there, follow, say hi, look at my videos. I don't really care what you do. Maybe a follow would be nice. Okay, anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I really do. And I will see you in my next video.